Hello, my name is Joon Lee, and I'm a 34-year-old Korean American second generation man who is a Christian and also someone who grew up in suburban neighborhoods all of his life and continue to do so. I also am a Southern California native, and I currently pastor a college congregation at our church, which is a Korean immigrant church, and I pastor about 200 students who are English speaking. And this is very different from, we do have a Korean speaking college group, but that's a light years removed from my context. I wouldn't be able to pastor that congregation because of the language gap, but more the cultural differences that I would have with someone who immigrated to the States. So to give you a context of our city of Fullerton, it is an upper middle class neighborhood that has a high number of Korean, Chinese, and Indian, but particularly Korean population because of the excellent school districts that are present here. To give you an understanding, two of the high schools in this city used to be ranked and are still ranked in the top 10 public high schools in the nation, and both of them have over 40% of the student body as Korean Americans. So that gives you an idea of the type of context our students live in. And a lot of our students are good students. Many of them, about a fifth of our students go to UCLA or USC. About another third go to UC schools. Some go to art schools, Christian colleges, community colleges, Cal States as well. But one common theme is the academic pressure that they face of growing up as a Korean American. We do have about 15 to 20% who are non-Koreans in our congregation. Some of them are Latinos and some of them are other Asians, but we're predominantly second generation Korean American. Also, I grew up in this city of Fullerton, so I went to the same high school as many of our students, junior high, elementary as well. So my students feel a very strong connect in that area, that I went to the same schools that they did and survive the academic pressure that they're going through currently. I think it is a great asset to be a Korean American in my current ministry context because there are so many similarities that we carry. Our church used to have a college pastor who was a Caucasian, and he quit after a little while because he realized that he couldn't relate to the students at all. But I can advise our students on how to relate to their parents, how to navigate that water wisely. I can also empathize with them in their academic struggles with the pressure and show them that it's possible to survive it. So that Korean American common heritage is a great asset for me. One challenge of being a second generation Korean American is that the senior leadership of our church are all first generation, and they have a very hierarchical structure, and it's very difficult for us second generation. For example, we want to repaint our sanctuary, but they won't let us, even though they don't even use our building, because we want to paint over a certain mural of the clouds and the heavens that they really like, but most of our people do not. But they will not give us permission to repaint the building that we use that they do not. And so that's just one example, but it can be very difficult sometimes to work together with them because they see you as below them. And lastly, the one challenge that I desire for our congregation is that we will become more racially diverse. It's somewhat of a catch-22. I believe that the fact that the leadership of our ministry is made up entirely of Korean Americans can actually somewhat discourage increased diversity, but at the same time, as I've explained, it is hard to work at our church without being Korean American. So part of me wants to bring in non-Korean American leaders, but part of me wonders if they'll do well. And also because our students have been raised in this city where there's a very Korean American bubble, that it's their comfort zone, and so some of them do not have friends outside of other Korean Americans, and so that makes it a little bit difficult to have greater diversity. But that's the summary of the context of our ministry and the social location that I am in. Thank you.